You know when you listen to like a new song and the whole thing's fine, but there's one little part of the song that's amazing, like 10 out of 10, like the coolest thing you could ever imagine, and you wish the rest of the song was like that? Well, that's what this game is like to me. It's Super Mario Wonder. Now, this game didn't get picked randomly for me to play. Instead, it was selected by my daughter. She's 10 years old, and in this gameplay footage, it will be of us playing it together. So, if you see somebody doing really poorly, that's me, and she's the one who's doing a good job. This game caught everyone off guard, and a lot of people thought it would really suck because the last several 2D Mario platformers weren't that spectacular. But this ended up being one of the best 2D Mario games of all time, according to a lot of people. Like I mentioned, I played this with my daughter, and there are some good things about that. There are some bad things. A good thing is that it's a great bonding experience, and she loved it and thought it was really whimsical, and so did I. The bad part of it is when one person runs ahead, the other person has a hard time keeping up with it. She's not used to holding down the fire button and running and jumping the way you do in Mario games. She wants to take her time. And this isn't the kind of game where you take your time. It wants you to speed through. It wants you to have those Mario skills already built up if you're going to play it with a group of people. And she just didn't have them. So there were some tears to be had playing this, but we did finish it. We had a great time. And I went back after we beat it and I did all the super secret levels and I streamed those. You can see the videos of those on my second channel, RNG Gaming. That's right, did you know I have a second channel where I actually play games? If you want more content that's a little bit different than this, more intimate, something to put on the background, go check out RNG Gaming. That's in the description down below. It's a lot of fun over there. So the story in this one it's pretty straight-laced for a Mario game, but it is a little different. Instead of Princess Peach getting kidnapped, Bowser has literally turned into the castle. So you have to collect these Wonder Seeds to free his grasp over the land. Now, the gameplay is what you'd expect. It's 2D Mario. You can collect power-ups, you can run and jump, you can wall jump, all those sort of things. But there are these badges in this game, and they give you special abilities and weaknesses for some of them. If you want to make the game more challenging, there are badges that do that. There's like a double wall jump and underwater dash. There's a high jump, a levitate, all kinds of things that can help you. And the game kind of is designed around you utilizing these badges to make it doable. Now, you can play this up to 4 players. Unlike some of the other previous ones where you can pick each other up and throw each other and all that sort of stuff, you can't do that in this one. Your sprites, while they interact with the environment around them, they don't really interact with each other. And that's a good thing because that makes it a lot harder. Now you're running through the levels, you're trying to get over the platforming challenges, you're trying to stomp the Goombas, you're stomping turts. But the gimmick is that in every single stage is a hidden item called a Wonder Flower. When you get a Wonder Flower, the game basically it trips out. It changes the gameplay and it goes super zany. And this is the part of the game that is like the 10 out of 10. I love the Wonder Flower sections, and I am so impressed by what Nintendo did with these ideas. They really had so many groundbreaking and unusual things that they did. I'm blown away by their creativity. You can always count on Nintendo to do something really creative, and boy do they do that in this. If you're able to beat the Wonder Flower section, you'll be granted a Wonder Seed, which is this game's version of stars. You'll also get one for finishing the level. And you gather these Wonder Seeds up and you turn them in to unlock the next stage. You know, some stages will require you to have 16 Wonder Seeds or something like that. We just went through and collected all of them on every stage, so we never had an issue not having enough to progress, but I could imagine that a small kid playing this could have some difficulties getting enough Wonder Seeds to progress, and they might have to get mom or dad to come help them out. As for the presentation of this game, it's Nintendo. The music is incredible, as it is in like every flippin' Mario game, and the graphics are bright and they're colorful. When you trip out on the Wonder Flower, it can be really spectacular. But the game's graphics do look like Mario, and they don't do much to stand out other than it just being Mario. Anybody can look at this and know immediately in 1 second what kind of game this is. Excluding, of course, the Wonder Flower sections. Now, honestly, if it weren't for the Wonder Flowers, this game would be pretty forgettable. There's nothing to set it apart from the other 2D Mario games of the last couple generations. But their presence is what really carries the game. And while they're usually really cool set pieces and they break up the monotony of the rest of the game, they don't really provide much challenge or more of a spectacle than anything. Most of the challenge comes from trying to locate them in the levels, and they can be pretty well hidden. There are a few times we couldn't locate one, although there are clues and they seem obvious after the fact, and we had to look up on a walkthrough where the Wonder Flower was. So once again, I could see a young kid getting stuck not being able to find the Wonder Flower in a stage. But other than just those few times, it's usually pretty obvious where they are, or they're just right out in the open. Fortunately, for those who do want a challenge, there are unlockable star worlds in this game. And it's pretty tough, but not as hard as I was expecting. And most of the game, honestly, is just a walk in the park compared to most 2D platformers, especially if you're a veteran to the series. So, my final thoughts on Mario Wonder. Well, I do think it's one of the better 2D Mario games I've ever played. It's very good, but the modern 2D games, they don't really hold a candle to the 3D Mario games. I think that Mario Odyssey on the Switch is a much better game than Mario Wonder. I don't think they're even in the same ballpark, honestly. The Wonder Flower segments are really cool, and I'm blown away by the sheer creativity of them, but they're really light on like the gameplay challenge. It's more of something you're watching. I think you would get just as much fun out of the Wonder Flower sections watching your friend play the game as you would playing it yourself. So we did beat it. We had a good time with it. I asked my daughter, Mini RNG, what she thought of it. She said she felt it was a 9 out of 10. She's never played any other 2D Mario games before. I don't think this is as good as Super Mario World. I don't think it's as good as Mario 3, but it is very good. I would give Super Mario Wonder an 8 out of 10. It's great, but if you've played a lot of Mario games, I don't know if this one's gonna stick with you that long, other than just the Wonder Flower stuff. But you should give it a shot. The Wonder Flower stuff is worth it by itself.